They splurged $300,000 on a wedding but refused to save my daughter's life. Now they beg for my help. Guess what shocking truth? I'm Emily Monroe, a 31-year-old interior designer running a small firm in Denver, Colorado, where winters drop to 20 degrees Fahrenheit and summers climb to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Each morning, I brew bold coffee, sketch designs at my studio desk, and drive 5 miles to client sites, transforming apartments, townhouses, and cafes into spaces that evoke emotion. My business, built on a University of Colorado degree, is my pride, earned through relentless hustle and creative vision. I'm not wealthy, but I support my husband, Matt, an electrical engineer, and our daughter, Ava, 8, the light of our lives with her curious eyes and infectious smile. My family, parents Stephen and Claudia, brother Dylan, never valued my efforts. To them, I'm the overlooked daughter, expected to toil in silence while they bask in appearances, their love reserved for Dylan, the golden child. Growing up in our family's suburban Boulder home, 30 miles from Denver, I learned early that love was unevenly distributed, tied to status, not effort. Stephen ran Monroe's Living, a high-end furniture store, projecting wealth. Claudia flaunted $2,000 handbags, her words polished to impress. Success, to them, was admiration, not peace. To outsiders, they were a model couple, brimming with warmth, but I knew their affection flowed to Dylan, 2 years my junior. At family gatherings, relatives swarmed him, exclaiming, "Dylan, you're so charming," or "that real estate job. Perfect for you." His easy smile drew applause, his presence a magnet. Me? I was a shadow, my achievements dismissed. If anyone mentioned me, it was a curt, "Emily's working hard," as if my efforts were expected, unworthy of celebration. I believed if I excelled, stayed quiet, and supported them, my parents would one day see me with the pride they showered on Dylan. But their eyes stayed on him, their praise for his smallest wins deafening. The disparity was stark, woven into our family's fabric. I recall one Christmas at 14, seated at our mahogany table, the air rich with roast beef and Claudia's pecan pie. Dylan, 12, got a $500 gaming console, his cheers echoing as relatives clapped. Stephen handed him a $200 gift card, beaming, "You're our star, Dylan." My gift? A $15 sketch pad with a note, "For Emily, keep studying." Claudia smiled, "You're so driven, Emily. You don't need much." I nodded, throat tight, and slipped to my room, the sting of being an afterthought piercing deep. That was the pattern. Dylan's minor successes were faded, my hard-won victories ignored. Family gatherings amplified this divide, each a stage for Dylan's spotlight. His high school graduation, hosted in our backyard 3 miles from Boulder's core, was a spectacle: catered lobster, a jazz band, a banner proclaiming Dylan's bright future. His community college acceptance sparked a farewell party with a $3,000 live band, social media flooded with *, proud of our son. * my milestones? Barely acknowledged. My architecture program acceptance at Chicago's Art Institute drew a nod from Claudia, "Try your best." Opening my design firm? Stephen said, "Hope you figure it out when it fails." No encouragement, no calls to check in, just silence. Dylan's job at a real estate firm prompted an Italian restaurant bash, appetizers costing $50, while my first office lease got nothing. I told myself it was fine. In America, family means showing up, even when it's one-sided. I believed if I gave enough time, effort, heart, they'd see me beyond the responsible daughter. I was proud of my firm, designing $500,000 projects, valuing self-respect earned through innovative spaces. But my family didn't care. They never asked about the cafes I transformed, the clients I won, or the thrill of a completed design. When I shared my work, Stephen grunted, "Sounds niche," before praising Dylan's latest deal. Claudia once said, at a $5,000 charity gala I skipped, "You're the crack in our perfect picture," her $1,200 pearl necklace gleaming, a symbol of my unworthiness. The imbalance wasn't just emotional, it was practical, rooted in their priorities. At 16, I worked at a bookstore, walking 4 miles to buy textbooks, saving for college. Dylan, at 14, got $1,000 sneakers from Claudia for confidence. I supported their lifestyle, $10,000 for Stephen's store events, $5,000 for Claudia's galas, $2,000 for Dylan's car, never asked for repayment, thinking it was family duty. At Thanksgiving in their $1.2 million Boulder mansion, curated for lawyers and doctors, I felt out of place. My design projects drew blank stares, but Dylan's failed lease negotiation sparked sympathy. "You'll bounce back." Claudia once told Ava, 8, "You're adorable but distant, probably from not seeing us enough," wounding my daughter. I gripped Ava's hand, vowing to shield her from their pretense. Matt urged me to mend ties, seeing my sensitivity, not their bias. He didn't know the sting of Claudia's dismissive nod after a perfect test, the weight of Dylan's our future while I stood silent. I poured myself into my firm, growing it from a shared rental to a standalone studio, designing spaces that healed. I met Matt, 33, on a 60 degrees Fahrenheit March day, collaborating on a smart-lit apartment. His warmth, his vision, won me. We married, had Ava, whose smile mirrored his eyes mine. Our early years were tight, $115,000 savings, no insurance, but joyful, our apartment near a park alive with Ava's laughter. I thought I'd numbed myself to their favoritism, but their indifference, their choice of Dylan's $300,000 wedding over my sacrifices, would soon prove how wrong I was, cutting deeper than any childhood slight. The Denver hospital's fluorescent lights buzzed at 65 degrees Fahrenheit as I sat by Ava's bedside, her weak breaths echoing in the sterile room, her pale face framed by a scarf around her foreladen arm. The 40 degrees Fahrenheit autumn night outside was cold, but a deeper dread consumed me after the doctor's diagnosis, an abnormal lung mass pressing on Ava's airway, requiring emergency surgery costing $98,000 within 3 days. Matt and I had $115,000 in savings, far short, and no insurance, a delay I'd justified with * we'll sign up later. * loan denials and sparse crowdfunding left me desperate, so I called Claudia, my mother, at midnight, voice trembling. Mom, Ava's in the hospital. She needs surgery. We need help, just a portion. I'll pay you back. Her reply was icy, this is bad timing, Emily. Our 40th anniversary party's next week. It's all planned, guests invited. It's inconvenient to postpone. I gripped the phone, knuckles white. Mom, Ava's your granddaughter. She's critical. Claudia's voice hardened, we can't tarnish our reputation over a personal issue. I'm sorry, I can't help. I hung up, the rejection a blade through my chest, crushing my last hope. Desperate, I drove 30 miles to their $1.2 million Boulder mansion the next morning, Ava's medical records clutched in my shaking hands. The 45 degrees Fahrenheit air was crisp, but my heart pounded as I parked among cars spilling from the driveway, soft music and laughter drifting from the backyard. White flowers, gold ribbons, and crystal lights adorned the house, Dylan's $300,000 engagement party to Natalie, a real estate heiress. I stepped into the grand foyer, feeling the weight of stares from elegantly dressed guests, lawyers, doctors, Boulder's elite. No one offered a drink or greeting, their gazes dismissed me as an intruder, a misplaced server in my plain coat. I spotted Claudia across the room, laughing with older guests, a $1,000 champagne flute in hand, her $2,000 handbag gleaming. I approached, voice urgent, Mom, please, 5 minutes. It's about Ava. She needs surgery. Claudia's eyes scanned me, displeased, as if I'd interrupted a vital toast. Emily, I'm entertaining. Can this wait? I shook my head, trembling but firm. No, it's Ava. She needs emergency surgery. I'm begging, just a portion of the cost. We've sold everything. Claudia hesitated, her lips tightening, then her gaze turned cold. Do you know what today is? Dylan's pre-wedding celebration, planned for months. Couldn't you pick a better time? I pulled Ava's records from my bag, opening them. Mom, read this. The doctor says without surgery soon, Ava may not survive. We need $98,000. She's your granddaughter. The music slowed, guests nearby stepping back, their murmurs hushed. Claudia glanced around, then leaned in, voice low, venomous, you're embarrassing me, Emily. This isn't the place. The money's spent catering, Natalie's dress, the band. Where do you expect $100,000 now? Her words hit like a physical blow, my breath catching at her prioritization of a party over Ava's life. I turned to Stephen, standing with Dylan and suited men, his $1,500 watch glinting. Dad, please, Ava needs surgery. Just a portion. She's your granddaughter. Stephen frowned, irritation flashing. Emily, are you causing a scene? Dylan chuckled, his voice sharp, cutting through the ballroom's hum. Are you serious? Because you didn't plan, we all bear the burden? I'm getting married. You expect me to cancel everything? Don't be selfish. His champagne flute tilted, his $330,000 engagement ring sparkling, a cruel contrast to my plea. I locked eyes with him, seeing emptiness behind his charm. I'm not asking you, Dylan. I hoped you had a conscience. He shook his head, smirking. I'm focused on my future. Ava's your daughter, not my responsibility. Stephen sighed, turning away. Emily, don't embarrass us further. I stood in the ballroom, surrounded by shimmering lights and guests who'd once called me daughter, sister, kin, now staring with pity or unease. I'd given $10,000 for Stephen's store, $5,000 for Claudia's galas, $2,000 for Dylan's car, yet they chose a $300,000 party over Ava's life. If family doesn't stand together in hard times, is it even family? I asked, voice breaking. No one answered. I tucked the records away, tears burning, and walked out, the stone pathway's crunch underfoot echoing my resolve. Driving the 30 miles back, the 40 degrees Fahrenheit night blurred through tears, not just from rejection but from clarity. To them, appearances trumped blood. I vowed to save Ava without their scraps, to never beg again. At the hospital, Matt held me as I recounted their coldness. Claudia's inconvenient, Dylan's selfish, Stephen's *, don't embarrass us. *, he whispered, we'll save Ava. We don't need them. We sold Matt's $20,000 pickup, my $2,000 computer, our $1,500 sofa, raising $29,000 in 3 days, far from $98,000. Friends like Anna, $500, and Travis, $320, gave their savings, but we were $40,000 short. I considered high-interest loans, my heart racing, sleep elusive. Then, Matt's parents, Carol and Henry, visited Ava's room. Henry pulled me aside, voice firm, come to our house tomorrow. I sensed their intent, a flicker of hope amid despair. In America, family is about love and sacrifice, but mine valued Dylan's $300,000 wedding over Ava's survival. I'd built a $500,000 firm, valuing self-respect through designs that healed, but they saw me as a crack in their image. Their rejection wasn't just about $98,000, it was a betrayal of trust, a declaration that Ava's life was less than their status. As I left their mansion, their laughter ringing, I shed the role of the pleading daughter. I'd given $17,000, worked 60-hour weeks, yet they offered nothing but scorn. Their "you didn't" plan wasn't about money, it was about love they withheld. I was Emily Monroe, fighting for Ava, no longer their shadow, ready to forge a path without their hollow promises. The Denver hospital's dim glow bathed Ava's room at 65 degrees Fahrenheit as I sat by her bed, her shallow breaths a stark reminder of the $98,000 surgery she needed, the 40 degrees Fahrenheit night outside mirroring the coldness I felt after my parents, Stephen and Claudia, and brother Dylan refused to help. Their dismissal, prioritizing Dylan's $300,000 engagement party over Ava's life, cut deeper than any childhood slight, their words, *inconvenient, selfish, don't embarrass us *, ringing in my ears. I'd given $17,000 over years, $10,000 for Stephen's store, $5,000 for Claudia's galas, yet they'd left me begging, their rejection a betrayal that shattered the trust I'd clung to despite their favoritism. The pain wasn't just their refusal, it was the realization they valued appearances over their granddaughter's survival. I'd been the Monroe family's silent supporter, pouring $17,000 into their world, $2,000 for Dylan's car, countless hours at their events, while building my $500,000 design firm, hoping my efforts would earn their love. Each contribution was a plea for recognition, a belief my innovative spaces would win their pride. But Claudia's "you're embarrassing me" and Dylan's "Ava's your problem" at that glittering Boulder mansion revealed a cruel truth: I was a tool, not a daughter. The pain wasn't new, it was a wound ripped open, raw and searing, from years of being overshadowed by Dylan's charm. They'd celebrated his B+ with cake, thrown a $3,000 party for his community college, while my architecture degree got a nod, my firm's launch hope you figure it out. Now, they'd chosen a $300,000 party over Ava's $98,000 surgery, blaming my poor planning. The deepest hurt came from their callous indifference, their refusal to see Ava's life as urgent. Stephen's "don't cause a scene" dismissed my $17,000 as irrelevant, framing Ava's crisis as a personal failure. Claudia's "the money spent" on catering, a $50,000 dress, a $20,000 band, prioritized their image over their granddaughter's survival, her $2,000 handbag a mocking symbol of their values. Dylan's chuckle, cancel my wedding? Selfish reduced Ava's fight to an inconvenience, his $330,000 ring glinting as he sipped champagne. They'd never asked, Emily, are you okay? They called for gala funds, Dylan's car, store events, but when I needed them, when Ava's life hung in the balance, they turned away, their laughter and "it's not the place" a declaration that my family, my daughter, were lesser. The betrayal wasn't just the $98,000 they wouldn't give, it was the erasure of Ava's worth, my pain, our bond, in favor of a spectacle. In America, family is a sanctuary where love meets sacrifice. I'd held to that, valuing self-respect through $500,000 design projects that healed spaces, believing my sacrifices, $17,000, 60-hour weeks, would earn a place in their hearts. But I was wrong. I'd walked 4 miles at 16 for textbooks, built a firm from a shared rental, yet they'd never said, *, we're proud, Emily. Asterisk their rejection, asterisk you're the crack in our picture, asterisk, wasn't about money, it was about love they reserved for Dylan's failures. I'd skipped vacations, poured my heart into Ava, Matt, my work, and they'd offered scorn, blaming my scene at their $300,000 gala. The wound was a void, stripping away the hope I'd held for their care, leaving only the stark truth of their priorities. I recalled every moment Dylan was exalted, his job sparking a $5,000 restaurant bash, his engagement a $300,000 extravaganza, while my firm's growth was met with, try not to fail. At Thanksgiving, 3 miles from Boulder, relatives consoled his lease flops, ignoring my designs. Claudia's Ava's distant blamed my parenting, not their absence. I'd given $17,000, my youth, my trust, and never heard thanks untied to another ask. As I sat by Ava's 65 degrees Fahrenheit bedside, their betrayal crystallized. They'd chosen a party, a ring, a facade over Ava's life, my pain a footnote in their curated world. The hurt wasn't just a refused $98,000, it was losing the illusion I'd ever been their daughter, valued only for what I could endure, not who I was. The Denver hospital's sterile air hung heavy at 65 degrees Fahrenheit as I sat by Ava's bedside, her frail breaths a constant reminder of the $98,000 surgery she needed, the 40 degrees Fahrenheit autumn night outside echoing the coldness of my parents' refusal to help. Stephen and Claudia's dismissal, choosing Dylan's $300,000 engagement party over Ava's life, and Dylan's mocking selfish cut deep, their betrayal shattering my trust. I'd given $17,000, $10,000 for Stephen's store, $5,000 for galas, yet they'd rejected my plea, prioritizing their image. Their messages, asterisk we're in trouble, help asterisk, came years later, but I'd already set a boundary, relying on friends and Matt's parents, Carol and Henry, who sold their $136,000 home to save Ava. I rebuilt my $500,000 firm, shared my story on TV, and severed ties, choosing a new family over their hollow legacy. Their rejection at the Boulder mansion, Claudia's inconvenient, Stephen's don't embarrass us, was my breaking point. I'd begged, medical records in hand, for $98,000, but they chose Dylan's $300,000 gala, their $2,000 handbags, and $330,000 ring gleaming. Matt and I sold our $20,000 truck, $2,000 computer, raising $29,000. Friends like Anna, $500, and Travis, $320, gave their savings, but we were $40,000 short. Carol and Henry, in a 60 degrees Fahrenheit hospital hallway, insisted we visit their home. There, they handed me a $136,000 deed, they'd sold their cherished house. Ava's life matters more, Carol said, tears in her eyes. Their sacrifice, unlike my parents' scorn, funded Ava's 6-hour surgery, a success that brought her back to us, her breath steady in the 70 degrees Fahrenheit recovery room. I poured my pain into my firm, waking at 4:30 a.m. to overhaul systems, mastering negotiation and digital marketing. My designs, cafes, spas, a $1 million Aspen hotel, earned Modern Spaces acclaim. On Voices of Resilience, I shared my story, from Dylan's favored B+ parties to their refusal to save Ava. Thank you, I told the host, they taught me to seek no approval, to find true family, those who sold their home for Ava. I named no names, but the truth, my parents' $300,000 party, Dylan's laugh, spread, sparking a media storm. Anonymous posts, asterisk parents chose wedding over dying granddaughter asterisk, gained 500,000 shares, exposing Stephen, Claudia, and Dylan Monroe. Their empire crumbled. Monroe's living faced 1-star reviews, cancelled orders, severed supplier ties. Stephen's $1.2 million mansion faced foreclosure, Dylan's real estate deals dried up, Natalie ending their engagement. Their pleas, asterisk help us, $200,000 asterisk, came via Claudia's letter, but I met them in my firm's 70 degrees Fahrenheit conference room, a $200,000 suitcase before them. This is yours, I said, voice steady, not from love, but to keep you off the streets. But you're no longer my parents. No contact, no requests. Claudia sobbed, you can't, but I cut her off, I must, for my true family, Matt, Ava, Carol, Henry, who gave everything. They left, suitcase in hand, their silence final. In America, family is love and sacrifice, but mine chose Dylan's $300,000 spectacle over Ava's $98,000 lifeline. I'd built a $500,000 firm, valuing self-respect through healing designs, but they saw me as a asterisk crack. Asterisk their betrayal wasn't just money, it was love withheld, Ava's life deemed lesser. I'd given $17,000, endured their galas, yet they laughed at my plea. Carol and Henry's $136,000 sacrifice, Anna's $500, Travis's $320 showed true family. My TV truth, not vengeance, exposed their priorities, freeing me. I was Emily Monroe, no longer their shadow, my boundary a shield for Ava, Matt, and those who loved us without condition. The Boulder spring bloomed at 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside my firm's studio, 30 miles from my parents' foreclosed $1.2 million mansion. As I reviewed a $1 million design contract, the 70 degrees Fahrenheit office humming with purpose. My stand, exposing Stephen, Claudia, and Dylan's refusal to fund Ava's $98,000 surgery for Dylan's $300,000 engagement party on Voices of Resilience, ignited a media firestorm. I'd given $17,000, $10,000 for Stephen's store, $5,000 for Gala's, but their betrayal, their inconvenient, led me to cut ties, relying on Carol and Henry's $136,000 home sale to save Ava. Their plea for $200,000 came too late. I gave it, severing contact. As their empire, store, mansion, reputation, collapsed, I felt no joy, only peace, my boundary firm. The fallout was swift, merciless. Claudia's letter, we've lost everything, marked their ruin, her trembling script a shadow of her $2,000 handbag days. Stephen's calls, help us, stopped, his pride crushed. Dylan's you made me heartless faded, his charm useless. Boulder's elite, 3 miles from their mansion, shunned them, neighbors whispering of their disgrace. Relatives, once toasting Dylan's $330,000 ring, distanced themselves. Melanie Harper, a cousin, emailed Emily, they're broken. Stephen's store is shuttered, Dylan's unemployed, Claudia's a ghost. I nodded, unsurprised. The family that chose a $300,000 gala over Ava's life faced the cost of their greed. Monroe's living, Stephen's $5 million empire, imploded. Online reviews, disgraceful owners, flooded platforms, orders cancelled, suppliers like Aspenwood Company severing ties. The $1.2 million mansion, listed at $1 million, drew no buyers, its leaky roof and cracked facade, once my $10,000 support, untended. Melanie texted, banks seizing it. They're selling heirlooms. The home, alive with $50,000 galas and Portland trips 190 miles away, stood empty, a relic of their vanity, forsaken like their granddaughter. Dylan faced the harshest reckoning. His real estate firm dropped him, clients citing his heartless laugh at my plea. Natalie, his fiancée, erased their $300,000 wedding photos, cancelled the engagement, and moved out, her silence louder than her $50,000 dress. Melanie noted, Dylan's crashing with friends, broke. His $330,000 ring, once a LinkedIn boast, was pawned, his charm failing in the 60 degrees Fahrenheit spring. Stephen and Claudia, stripped of their $5 million store, worked grueling jobs, Stephen in warehouses, Claudia cleaning homes, their health fraying, their $2,000 handbags sold for pennies. Family traditions, Thanksgiving feasts, summer escapes, vanished. Relatives, who'd praised Dylan's flops, stopped visiting, their silence a verdict. Cousin Sarah, 15 miles in Longmont, texted Emily, they're done. Your story woke us. I replied, they woke themselves. I spoke truth. Her silence mirrored their collapse. Claudia's we were wrong came via letter, begging $200,000. I gave it, not from love but to avoid their ruin, stating, you're no longer my parents. They left, suitcase in hand, their legacy dust. The fallout wasn't just financial, it was moral, irreversible. Stephen and Claudia, blind to Dylan's flaws, enabled his $300,000 extravagance while ignoring Ava's $98,000 need. Their don't cause a scene shielded their image, not their granddaughter. The media, 500,000 shares of parents chose party over dying child, was their mirror, reflecting greed over blood. They blamed me, their anger a shield, but I didn't carry it. I'd given $17,000, my heart, and they'd offered scorn. Now, they learned family ties break when built on betrayal. As their mansion stood unsold, I felt release, my peace brighter than their fallen facade. The Boulder summer glowed at 75 degrees Fahrenheit outside our new home, 30 miles from my parents' lost $1.2 million mansion. As I sketched designs in our sunlit living room, the 70 degrees Fahrenheit air filled with Ava's laughter. 3 years after Stephen, Claudia, and Dylan refused $98,000 for Ava's surgery, choosing Dylan's $300,000 engagement party, their betrayal, inconvenient, selfish, faded. I'd cut ties, relied on Carol and Henry's $136,000 home sale, and exposed their actions on Voices of Resilience, sparking their ruin. Their $200,000 plea was met with my boundary, no further contact. My $1 million firm thrived, our home housed Matt, Ava, Carol, Henry, and our newborn, a true family. I found peace, knowing they might beg again, but my heart belonged to those who loved without condition. I rebuilt my life with purpose, waking at 4:30 a.m. to transform my firm, landing $1 million contracts, Aspen hotels, Denver complexes, earning Modern Spaces acclaim. I bought back Carol and Henry's $136,000 home, gifting it on Carol's birthday, Ava's I love you card sealing their tears. Our new $500,000 home, built for Ava, Matt, Carol, Henry, and baby Liam, brimmed with love, pancakes, laughter, no judgmental stares. I repaid Anna's $500 with a music school fund, Travis's $320 with a Chicago Design Scholarship, their hugs my reward. My blog on resilience inspired thousands, readers like Melanie writing, * you gave me courage. Star. Stephen, Claudia, and Dylan's world collapsed, $5 million store shuttered, mansion foreclosed, Dylan's engagement ended. Their $200,000 plea, met in my 70 degrees Fahrenheit office, was my final act, not love but mercy. Claudia's sobs, * you can't *, met my * I must, for my family. * I didn't hate them, I lacked strength to carry their weight. Their silence since was freedom, not loss. In America, family is sacrifice and love, but mine chose $300,000 spectacles over Ava's $98,000 life. I'd given $17,000, endured their scorn, yet found true kin, Carol's tears, Henry's grip, Anna's $500. My voice's truth freed me, not vengeance, but clarity. Ava, now 11, thrived, her superhero dreams my strength. Matt's "You're the strongest" rang true, not for surviving betrayal, but for building a $1 million legacy from pain. I didn't know if they'd call again, sick, broke, desperate, but my door, once open to their $2,000 handbag world, was mine to guard. I chose peace, love, and Ava's laughter, the greatest gift beyond any $300,000 party. As Emily Monroe, I poured $17,000 into my family's world, $10,000 for my father's store, $5,000 for galas, believing it would earn their love, only to be refused $98,000 to save my daughter Ava's life, their $300,000 wedding deemed more vital. Their betrayal, mocking my plea as selfish, revealed I was just a tool, not a daughter. For 31 years, I was invisible, my $1 million firm ignored while Dylan was celebrated. Cutting ties and exposing their truth, I learned family isn't blood, it's respect. Their $200,000 plea met my boundary, no more contact. In my Boulder home with Ava, Matt, and true kin, I found peace. To you, Americans who cherish family, don't let loyalty blind you to betrayal. If your family values image over your heart, set boundaries. Your worth isn't their praise, it's your resilience. Don't repeat my years giving to those who dismiss you. Say no when it's cruel, it's not weakness, it's strength. Build a circle that honors your soul, friends, chosen kin. Perseverance isn't enduring pain, it's choosing those who uplift you. I sought we're proud too long. Start now, demand respect, live for yourself, and find freedom in being enough.